Hello guys, today we'll be talking about a very crucial part of the beginners Python series, which is functions in Python. Hi guys, my name is Richel Attafuah. I'm a second year grad student reading statistics at Miami University, and I'm so excited I'm doing this beginners for Python series. Let's get into it. So today we are going to learn what a function is, how to define a function, how to call or use a function. We're going to learn about input, output part of the function, and some examples as we move along. So first, what then is a function? You remember when we were looking at conditionals, I spoke about how you don't want to kind of repeat the thing over and over and over again. So you kind of write these conditional statements. So we are looking at functions. So functions is actually really a bit similar to that. So for functions, it helps us to be able to organize and to be able to reuse our code over and over and over again. So I think we've come along some inbuilt functions already in our code along video. If you've not watched that, please do go watch that. In our code along video, we spoke about one of the inbuilt function, input, if you remember, which helps the user to actually put in a value you're asking it. So we're going to learn how to build our own functions, not just looking at inbuilt functions in Python. So the very first function we're going to look at is we have to understand how we actually write a function. So to write a function, the first word you have to write is define. So DEF. So you have to define the function first, and you name the function, and you have a bracket. The bracket, you can actually put in values there, which means these are the values that the function can take in. You don't necessarily have to put values there, but you can if you want to. And you can even give the values like a specific number or value they can take, right? And after the bracket, what comes after is our colon there. And that is what we do. Then you can kind of define whatever you want to be in the bracket. So this is a very simple function where we are defining greet. That's defining greet or just print hello, welcome to Python functions. So this is the very basic function we can create. So to call the function, we'll need to actually mention the name of the function, which we defined as greet. So I'm going to run this line of code. So you see saying hello, welcome to Python functions. Then we're going to look at an example of a function with an input, that is the parameter in the function. So we're going to use this very simple example, which says define greet user. So that means this function actually takes in the keyword user, right? And when the user actually puts in their name, it should input hello, concatenate it with the user's name, and end with an exclamation mark. I'm going to try that with two names, Alice and Richel. So hello Richel with an exclamation mark, hello Alice with an exclamation mark. And you can also allow functions to return an output. So you can have a function that you don't actually ask it for any input, like what we looked. Then you can have a function where it's actually going to take an input, which is the name. Then we're going to look at a function where it's going to actually give us an output. So for it to give us an output or some desired output, what we use in Python is a return name. We use return, right? So here we are saying we're defining a function that is going to perform calculation, specifically addition. So we are going to define the name of the function as add numbers. So add numbers, and it's going to take in two inputs, A and B. And when it takes that in, it's going to return the output A plus B, right? So we're going to try it. So I told you to be able to call the function, you have to name or write out the name of the function. So the name of the function was add numbers. So we have to write out the add numbers, then put in any two inputs we have. If you put in 3 input, it's not going to work because you've defined your function to take in just 2 inputs, right? So it's going to take in just 2. So we're going to put in 2 values, 3 and 5, and we already told it to return the sum, right? It should add it up. So let's run this and see how that works. So you see that we get the sum to be 8. I want to challenge you guys to try to create functions on your own. Very simple. Create a function that doesn't actually take anything. Try one that takes an input and try one that should give you a desired output. I'm making this very simple today so that we can actually practice on our own, and we are definitely going to have a code along video on functions so that we can build our own cool and super amazing functions on our own. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this pretty short video on functions. I made it very simple so that we can actually relate to it and be able to actually understand the very nitty-gritties of functions. We are going to actually do a code along video to actually work on this as we integrate with a lot of other things that we've already studied in this Python beginner series. I hope you liked it. Please do give it a thumbs up, do share, and add in the comment section if I was moving too slow, too fast. I want to know your comments and I want to hear your feedback. Do check the description box for a Medium post that goes into details about what I explained in the video, and also a GitHub link to be able to access this very notebook I used in the video. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.